shooting shows with his family and having apprentices. We brought him here today for you. It's Scott McGillivray! Looking good.
You got my memo.
You followed the red memo. I love that.
Yeah.
Do you know what you do? You wear red when you're feeling ridiculously exhausted and you want to look awake. So that's where we're both at right now.
You read my mind.
You were so busy. You're everywhere. So I'm happy we could have you on the show today to talk a little bit about tiles. We're going to have some lessons. We're going to talk about what's going on in your crazy busy life.
Sure.
But you've brought some beautiful tiles. If people are in the middle of a big project, could be kitchen, could be bathroom, it's nice to have the jewelry.
Yeah.
The tiles are almost like the jewelry in the space, aren't they?
Well, it's a very important part of the space.
It
you know,
is.
there's a lot of things that you can play around with that are inexpensive, like paint colors and things like that. But tile, to me, it's very personal because I feel like you have to do it right. You can't reverse it very easily. It's an investment. But it can make such a huge statement in your space. So this is a lot of backsplash situation going on here.
Okay.
People ask me about backsplash all the time. People stress out over backsplash. Will it go with my cabinets? Will it go with my countertops? Yeah. And the answer is, we're gonna make that happen as best we can.
Yeah, I get it, and I understand why they stress out, because you want to make the right choice. And the options, there's so many options out there. So what are you gonna do? Like, you can go with big, you can go with small. Where do you want to start?
Well, overall, I would say that you can do things, you can make a big impact, design impact, without spending a fortune.
Good.
Because you've got patterns and you've got, you know, mix and match. Like with backsplash, you don't have to break the bank. It's not like you'd spend $1 million to get a cool backsplash. You can get things that have a matte finish, that have a distressed look. I like that tile there. This is a sort of a spin on the classic subway tile. It's a little bit longer. It's a little distressed. Again, great for a backsplash. This wouldn't be on a floor.
Right.
I find the inconsistency in the surface is a little annoying if you're trying to walk on it.
You don't want to walk on that.
Then there's the crackled look. This has been very popular lately. People are getting a little bit of a old-fashioned look, almost with that crackle in there.
It does. It looks aged. I like the fact that everything has a bit of that beige, that gray feeling.
That's me, though. You know, I love the grays and the white. I like it clean. To me, the backsplash can be cool. It can be clean. Again, octagons, hexagons, very popular.
These are cool.
I've been using this in my own home. I've been doing a lot of these patterns, especially in the showers, on the bathroom floors.
These ones are pretty.
You know what? This is the mix, so you get a bit of stone and a bit of glass.
Yeah.
I think, you know, a lot of people got interested in the glass tiles a few years ago. All glass is pretty, you know, it's very sort of sterile. I find mixing it up at least gives you some texture.
It gives it a little bit of warmth, because you're right, it can be a little bit cold that way. Yeah. I like this one as well.
Those are small 1/2" by 1/2" tiles.
These are nice.
There. And don't think just about your tiles. Think about the pattern of the installation, because that can really change things up.
Right.
And I'll show you, for example, over here, a couple different. I like the longer tiles.
Yeah.
This is your very classic sort of subway tile. Everybody knows these ones back here.
Yeah.
But I'll give you. You're okay without your notes, right? You and I are freestyling.
I don't even need notes.
Yeah,
You're such a pro.
I didn't think so.
Throw that card away. I totally need that card. No, I'm just joking.
Let me give you a quick example with these simple subway tiles. This is a bit of a glossy tile. This here is a very standard modern look. This was popular in the 80s, right? And then more recently, for a more modern look, we're seeing people do a soldier course if you want to keep it super clean.
What, that's what you call this?
I call that a soldier course.
Okay, so you're putting it this way now.
Sort of staggering it up and down.
Yep.
Your classic is your subway tile, also known as a running bond.
So that would be like that?
That would be like this here. You have to hold it up like that, don't you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Running bond is more like that. Now, I don't know how we're going to do this, but herringbone is fantastic.
Boy. I can do it.
Can you do it? Oh,
yeah, so that's like that.
That's your herringbone.
And I think that's beautiful.
You would be really good at Twister. I feel like you would be
I am actually. I'm a bit of a pro.
I believe it.
Everything looks better in herringbone, I think. Is there something about the installation of herringbone? Is it harder?
It is harder.
It's harder, isn't it?
Well, you have more cuts typically.
Yeah.
And you can, you know, again, herringbone isn't just herringbone. You can run it vertically. You can run it horizontally.
Yeah, that's true.
You can put it on its side, and it looks more like a staircase.
Yeah.
You can do a double herringbone, which is something that we've been doing lately. is doubling up on your herringbone,
Oh,
especially
yeah.
when you have a longer tile like these ones. It looks really cool.
That's nice.
And one of the things that a lot of people don't think about is your edge profiles.
Okay.
So edge profiles to me is like the icing on the cake. It's the finishing touch. Nobody wants to look at the side of your tiles, especially if it's ceramic. You know, you want to hide that. You want it to look nice and clean.
Okay.
So your edge profiles are here. You've got some that are rounded if you're going for that cleaner rounded look.
Yep.
And these go on the wall, and your tiles, obviously, let me give you an example,
So you would only see that
are going to
beautiful
butt into
smooth
them.
edge.
Exactly. It's nice and
That's
clean on
really
the edge.
nice.
It looks nice and clean. Again, it would match your grout ideally.
Yeah.
And grout, again, something that people don't think about. I'll give you a quick tip on grout because a lot of people, if you're going to go with something simple, white and clean,
Yep.
if you use a white grout, it's going to hide any imperfections in your installation.
So that's white on
Okay?
white there.
White on white. However, I prefer
see it.
a cleaner installation
Yeah.
with a bit of a bolder grout because then it defines your tiles. It really shows your pattern and
Yeah.
highlights the backsplash instead of blending it in.
It really does.
Yeah.
But I mean, you also have to be careful because you don't want a situation where, you know, 1984 called and they want their tile and grout back. You know what I mean?
It happens.
It happens. But the classic, I think the classic color combos are always going to be in no matter what.
Absolutely. White
Right?
tiles have always been in.
Yeah.
A good installation. It is classic. If you want to have a little bit of fun, go for it, but I wouldn't invest a ton of money if you think you're going to have to upgrade it in a few years.
Good stuff. Really good advice.